Chapter 7. Eat Less, Live Longer. The secret of living well and longer is eat half, walk double, laugh triple, and love without measure. Tibetan proverb. In this chapter, I will teach you some ideas about how to increase your wellness with food that you enjoy. It is important to eat a variety of colorful foods to receive a broad spectrum of nutrients. The 6 basic nutrients in meals are proteins, water, fats, carbohydrates, minerals, and vitamins. Proteins, carbohydrates, and fats provide energy. Proteins form important parts of the body's main structural components and have a major role in building and repairing. Carbohydrates are the body's preferred source of energy. Fats, lipids, in addition to providing the most concentrated form of energy, play a role in the storage and transportation of fat-soluble vitamins. Minerals and vitamins regulate body functions. Deep pigments in plant foods are dense with nutrients and generally have more antioxidants. Cook with color to add visual appeal and encourage appreciation of a meal. Enhance your health with phytochemicals, plant chemicals, that have protective or disease-preventative properties. Some of the benefits include protection against oxidative damage and decreased risk of cancer and heart disease. The easiest way to get more phytochemicals is to eat more fruit and vegetables. Robert, one of my clients who frequently suffered from indigestion and a bad skin condition, at my suggestion, implemented the Ayurvedic lifestyle and started eating his biggest meal in the middle of the day, when his Agni, digestive power, is the strongest. Instead of eating his largest meal late at night after coming home tired from work and falling asleep immediately while watching his favorite TV program, Robert changed his eating habits and started enjoying his biggest meal at noon, followed by a short walk to help with his digestion. Robert also started to drink more water and avoid overeating and reducing ice-cold foods and sweet beverages. This small eating and behavioral change helped to minimize my client's indigestion and skin condition. What is Agni? It is the metabolic power responsible for extracting nourishment and eliminating toxins. Your health depends on proper digestion. When our digestive fire is strong and healthy, we can easily digest food and experiences. We extract the greatest level of nourishment from our diet, ohas. Yogapedia's definition of ohas is vigor. In the practice of Ayurveda, ohas is thought to be responsible for vitality, strength, health, length of life, immunity, and mental/emotional wellness. When our digestive fire is weak or irregular, we cannot properly digest even potentially nourishing substances, and our body starts to accumulate toxins, ama. We keep Agni strong by eating the proper amount, eating the right foods, and managing stress, which can dampen Agni. What is microbiome? The microbiome is a vast colony of microorganisms that inhabit our body, including bacteria and other microbes. These microbes live mainly in our digestive tracts, in our mouths, and even on our skin. The microbiome is beneficial for our health. It helps to digest our food, regulate hormones and immune system, and influence our nervous system and emotions. In your daily life, the choices you make about what you eat can make the greatest difference in cultivating a healthy gut microbiome. You need to avoid refined and processed foods and favor fresh, real food. You can be assured that you are nurturing your microbiome, body and mind, with the highest quality anti-inflammatory nutritive. There are 5 primary elements of life, or building blocks of nature, that make up everything we perceive through our senses: space, air, fire, water, and earth, which exist both within us and in the world around us. In Ayurvedic medicine, there are 3 categories: doshas, believed to circulate in the body and govern psychological activity; The 3 doshas are derived from the 5 elements. The 5 elements organize themselves into 3 essential principles of life: movement, metabolism, and structure, known in Sanskrit as Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These principles, which we can think of as air, fire, and earth, are the forces that govern every natural function and regulate every process within our mind and body. Since each of us is a unique expression of nature, we each have an inherent tendency toward one or more of these principles. This explains why we each respond so differently to the same stimulus. Some of us are naturally earthier, while others are more fiery or airy. As we discuss the functions and characteristics of each of these principles, notice which ones you most identify with. Each of the mind-body principles, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, have a balanced expression and an out-of-balance expression. When these principles are circulating in the mind-body physiology in appropriate proportions, we feel both healthy and happy, and all our bodily functions work in harmony with one another. Unhealthy lifestyle choices can imbalance the doshas. However, when we follow an improper diet and make unhealthy lifestyle choices, these principles may become disturbed and cause distress in mind or body. It is important to prepare nutritional foods to increase your wellness with food that you enjoy. It is important to remember to eat a variety of colorful foods to receive a broad spectrum of basic nutrients, including proteins, water, fats, carbohydrates, minerals, and vitamins. The Harvard Business School recommends making the following changes when it comes to creating a healthy diet that you can enjoy. Be relaxed about your diet. You will never find a perfect food. Not everything on your plate needs to have a higher purpose. Take your tastes and preferences into account. If beef is your favorite food, it is okay to eat it, but make it a Sunday treat instead of a daily staple. Learn to think about food in a new way. Years ago, meat and potatoes were American ideals. Now we know that vegetables, fruit, whole grains, nuts, and fish are best for you. Experiment with new recipes and meal plans. Be creative and take chances. Instead of dreading your new diet, have fun with it. Change slowly. Give yourself time to change, targeting 1 item a week. Start with breakfast, switching from eggs, bacon, donuts, white toast, or bagels to oatmeal or bran cereal and fruit. If you just can't spare 10 minutes for a sit-down breakfast, grab high-fiber cereal bars instead of donuts or muffins. Try out salads, low-fat yogurt, or low-fat cottage cheese, tuna or peanut butter sandwiches, and fruit for lunch. Snack on unsalted nuts, trail mix, fruit, raw veggies, rye crisp, or graham crackers. Try eating a few handfuls of a crunchy fiber cereal, such as kashi, or nibble on a cereal bar. For dinner, experiment with fish, skinless poultry, beans, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, and of course, salad and veggies. Choose meats and poultry that are organic, grass-fed, free-range, hormone-free, and antibiotic-free. Fish should be wild, hormone-free, and antibiotic-free. Other healthy protein could include bison, herring, lamb, mackerel, shrimp, skinless chicken, skinless turkey, tuna, and wild salmon. Fruit and low-fat frozen desserts are examples of desirable after-dinner treats. And there's nothing wrong with the occasional cake, pie, or chocolates if the proportions are moderate. If you are serious about making a change, consider ditching the following foods that are not good for your health and longevity: bread, pasta, tortillas, and other foods that contain gluten; breakfast cereals, including oatmeal; condiments such as ketchup, soy sauce, and barbecue sauce that contain sugar, artificial ingredients, excessive salt, or gluten; corn, including popcorn, cornbread, and popped corn chips; dairy foods such as milk, cheese, cream, yogurt, and ice cream; foods that contain genetically modified ingredients; foods that contain high fructose corn syrup or trans hydrogenated fats, foods that contain sugar, artificial sweeteners, or soy, fruit juice, even 100% fresh, grain-based foods, cereal, rice, instant oatmeal, wheat, barley, rye, and corn, jams, jellies, pancake syrup, most cooking oils, corn, safflower, canola, soy, processed frozen dinners, processed meats such as lunch meats, salty processed snacks, potato chips, popcorn, pretzels, nacho chips, crackers, soy-based foods such as protein bars, powders, oils, and snack foods, sugary processed snacks, cakes, cookies, cupcakes, candy, sweetened drinks such as fruit punch, lemonade, and soda, white potatoes, commercially raised beef and poultry, farm-raised fish, pork and ham, processed lunch meats, processed meat such as bacon, sausage, pepperoni, and hot dogs. Diabetes, high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes, and cancer are distressingly common. Many factors contribute to these complex problems, but the basic reasons are simple. We eat too much, we choose the wrong foods, and we don't get enough exercise. Scientists know what diet is best for health. The fine print has changed and is likely to change some more, but the key facts are in. Good eating is not a punishment, but an opportunity. If you know why it's important and what to do, you'll find it enjoyable and satisfying. And if you establish an overall pattern of healthy nutrition, you'll have plenty of wiggle room to savor the treats that matter most to you. Research indicates that moderate exercise, when practiced regularly, can roll back the clock on your DNA. Fill up your plate with vegetables. While there are enormous debates about the best diet for increased lifespan, nearly every diet agrees that eating more vegetables is the way to go. Also, consider intermittent fasting, with many variations on how this is achieved. Studies dating as far back as the 1930s have shown that caloric restriction extends the longevity of mice and other test species. It is important to get enough sleep. Most people feel best when they get 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Carefully manage your stress. Stress can have unhealthy effects on your body and can promote unhealthy behaviors such as overeating. Don't smoke or drink excessive amounts of alcohol. Make a commitment today to make one healthy change a week. Before you know, you'll be feeling better and on the road to longevity. Cultivate personal relationships. Spending time with our loved ones does seem to improve longevity, maybe because it decreases stress or risky behaviors. One study led by researchers at the University of Exeter Medical School in England found that volunteers had a 22% reduction in mortality compared to non-volunteers. If you are wondering what else contributes to a good life and how you can extend your lifespan, I will share with you the Harvard study of adult development on what makes a good life and the lessons from the longest study on happiness. For 75 years, Harvard tracked the lives of 724 men, year after year, asking about their work, their home lives, their health, asking all along the way without knowing how their life stories were going to turn out. In a TEDx talk, psychiatrist Robert Waldinger shares important lessons learned from the study, as well as some practical, old as the hills wisdom on how to build a fulfilling, long life. It turns out that people who are more socially connected to family, to friends, and to the community are happier. They're physically healthier, and they live longer than people who are less well connected. And the experience of loneliness turns out to be toxic. People who are more isolated than they want to be from others find that they are less happy. Their health declines earlier in midlife, their brain functioning declines sooner, and they live shorter lives than people who are not lonely. And the sad fact is that at any given time, more than 1 in 5 Americans will report that they're lonely. Good relationships don't just protect our bodies, they protect our brains. It turns out that being in a securely attached relationship to another person is protective. The people who are in relationships where they feel they can count on the other person in times of need, those people's memories stay sharper longer. And the people in relationships where they feel they can't count on the other one, those are the people who experience earlier memory decline. When it comes to love without measure, when it comes to mercy, it is always best to be on the merciful side. Shall you stop judging and condemning and enter a life of forgiveness? For the measure with which you measure will in return be measured out to you. We are challenged to love as we want to be loved. The measure of love is to love without measure. Francis de Sales. In our call to love, we must not be calculated. We must not hold back. Take a moment today and ask yourself what your motive to love is. Sometimes we love for selfish reasons, to get something in return. Love without measure is calling us to simply love without wanting anything in return, to simply love for the sake of the other. In closing, I leave you to reflect on this Marcus Aurelius quote. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart.